Hello, this is a tutorial on how to install Google Tag Manager on your Next.js project. So the installation process and setup will be a little bit different since Next.js offers us a library that includes the Google Tag Manager. So the process is gonna be a little bit different than the instructions that they give you on the official website. But that's what we're gonna be looking today. So let's go ahead and code. So you should already have your custom domain. So for this tutorial, I'm just using a fake domain, but I have recently integrated the Google Tag Manager on a real website, but the process is the same and I'm gonna show you. For this example, I'm just using the boilerplate code. The first step is to install the library offered here. So the library is called um, Next Third Parties. So we need to make sure that we install this. So let me just go ahead and install it. It's not gonna take long, so it's already installed. So now that we have it installed, we should be able to import the Google Tag Manager. So it's showing on here Google Tag Manager from Next Third Parties Google. So this is a component that we're gonna use instead of the tag that we see here. So instead of this tag, we're gonna be using the the Google Tag Manager component here. Next, we need to get the Google Tag Manager ID. So we can go to the Tag Manager workspace and the ID will be shown here as you can see. But also another way to access to this information will be by going to admin, and then we can go to install Google Tag Manager, and you will see here the installation process with all the steps. So as I said before, um, the Google Tag Manager component will be replacing this step. So as you can see, both tags contain the ID. So on this one is on here, and on the no script tag is on here. So both of them contain the same ID, but it is easier to just grab the code that is shown here, and then we can go ahead and go to the layout. We're going to use this code on the component. So remember that we need to use the component, the Google Tag Manager component, on the layout file. So what we're gonna do is to use the Google Tag Manager component, and we need to pass as a prop the Google tag manager ID, as you see here, and make sure that your code is added as a prop. The component needs to be added inside of the HTML, but you need to make sure that is added before the body, okay? So this is very specific, else it won't work. Now that we have added the Google Tag Manager component, the second step, as you can see here on the instructions, is to add the no script immediately after the opening body tag. So we can just go ahead and copy the code exactly as it is and bring it to the layout file. So as it said, you need to put it after the opening body tag. Okay, so let me just go ahead and add it on here and make sure to remove the comments. And also one thing that we need to update from the example is that we need to include the brackets, since this is not the basic HTML, okay? So make sure that you don't have any errors, and so it's gonna be a little bit different than the example, but it's the same process basically. So now that we have the Google Tag Manager component and we have the no script tag also added to the layout, we can go ahead and commit these changes. So let me just go ahead and commit these changes. I'm using the main branch for this tutorial, um, but you should already have your website up and running with your custom domain, okay? So I'm just gonna commit these changes. First, I'm gonna stash all the files, and then I'm gonna commit the changes. I'm just gonna put the whole thing. And I'm gonna push the changes. So in your case, you should push these changes to your production environment, and the next step is to make sure that the Google Tag Manager was successfully installed. In order to check this, Google already provides here this last step where you can put your domain, your URL for your website, and test it if it's working. In this case, it won't work because it is not a valid URL, but if you have followed all the steps correctly, you should see a green check mark next to the URL. And the test usually doesn't take too long. It's usually a couple of seconds, and it's really helpful because it tells you that the tag was installed correctly. Just to show you, this is the project I recently install the Google Tag Manager. So as you can see when I test it, and it was successfully installed. So when you see this green check mark, it tells you that you have successfully installed it. So that's it for this video, and I recommend you to go through the third-party libraries documentation here on the Next.js documentation. I'm gonna leave a link down below so you can see the other options that this library offers, such as the Send Google Tag Manager event that we see here, and some other options that are added here on the documentation. So I really hope that you find this video useful to you, and thank you so much for watching.